So a little trick I learned for that time of year when you have to do smog is you got to keep your stock exhaust, because more than likely if you have an aftermarket exhaust, you don't have a catalytic converter, and your stock exhaust has a catalytic converter, which you see right here. And you need that bad boy to pass smog. So since my aftermarket exhaust doesn't have one, I need to slap on the OEM exhaust and then get my shit smogged and then be able to pass smog. So I haven't been driving it because the tags expired. I went to pay for my tags, and then I found out that I have to smog my car again every 2 years here in California. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this before the sun goes down, and hopefully tomorrow I'll get it smogged and get my tags. So you guys are gonna see me change out the exhaust right now. So this is the Isis Performance exhaust. You're gonna have to break it down into two. So this is the rear end of it. It's two bolts right here. The size of it is 9/16. So you're gonna take those out, and that's the piece that replaces it with that fat ass muffler that makes your shit sound quieter than two mice fucking. And then the thing about removing this back pipe is that you have to take out these first, these guards. So take out these bolts. There's 2 bolts right here, so that's a total of 4 bolts. And then this drops out. I think I see an extra, no, that it is 4 bolts. So 4 bolts, you drop this lower guard off, and this pipe should be able to come out. I'll let you guys know in a little bit if I remember correctly. Okay guys, so we got the first part off. As you can see, you're gonna have to unhook the little rubber mounts, and there's only 2 of them, so it comes out fairly easy. Now we're gonna go ahead and take these bolts off, and these are gonna come off with a 3 1/4. And there's gonna be 4 of them, like I mentioned before. So let me get that out, and then we'll move on to the longer piece right here. All right, guys. So my first calculation was wrong. There is 4 more in the back over here. So 2 on each side. Actually, it might be 1 on this side. I don't know. I think the last time I put it back, that one wouldn't go in, so I just left it at 1. So for me, it's gonna be 1 on this side and 2 on this side, but for you guys, it should be 2 bolts on each side. So you're gonna have to take 4 bolts off, and then we'll get to the last 2 in the rear, and that should be everything for taking it back off. And then we should put the catalytic converter exhaust back on. So I'll knock that out and I'll get back with you guys. Alright guys, well it got dark on me already, and I'm missing some hardware. The Isis Performance exhaust bolts aren't going to fit on your stock bolts, and I remember I had this problem the first time I had to do the change, and I went to Home Depot and bought the bolts for the stock one, which was a little bit difficult to find. They weren't even the same ones. They were the same thread but different bolts, but they were the only ones I could find, and I had issues finding them. And I remember putting them back on so that when I did this again, they would be on there already and I wouldn't lose them. But we moved a couple times since then. I did that last job at my mom's house, and the car was a lot higher back then. It's a lot lower now, so that's why I'm having a little bit of trouble when I was raising it. even now when I went under the car, I'm kind of squished under there and I don't have really much room to work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put everything away. I'm not gonna force it. You never want to rush through things like this because it's kind of dangerous being under the car. Tomorrow I'm gonna hit up Home Depot, get those bolts and finish the job. It's pretty much plug and play now. I just need the bolts, put everything back on, and go get my smog. So I'll finish this up at another time. Alright guys, so I had a little trouble finding those bolts for the stock exhaust, and I thought I'd share with you guys a little tip. So there's two type of bolts. There's a standard and metric. Metric being for overseas vehicles, and standard usually is for American vehicles. So the nuts that you need for your stock exhaust, they're not going to be either or. That's why I had trouble finding them, and I couldn't find the answer online either. So it turns out that the thread pattern for the nuts on the stock exhaust, they're described as fine thread. So to find that, my brother actually suggested putting these lug nuts that I had laying around for my wheels. So those actually fit the stock exhaust bolts. And I had some spacers with the nuts on them, and I put them in and they fit perfect. So a little tip for you guys: if you guys have spare lug nuts for your Miata, they're actually going to fit your stock exhaust. Maybe that'll work for you guys. It might not. Other than that, you might have to go to Mazda and buy the nuts yourself, which are pretty expensive for some nuts. The bolts actually are attached to the exhaust pipe, so all you need is the nuts to tighten it up. And if you're having trouble finding them, look for some spare lug nuts that you have, and that might work for you guys as well. So back to the video. Alright guys, so it's a different day and I forgot about this brace right here. So there's another metal bar under the car that protects your exhaust pipe, and it only has 2 bolts. And I already took out the exhaust, but this makes it so much easier when you go in installing it back on. It makes it so much easier just to take it off. You don't want to deal with the hassle, so take this bar off itself as well. And if you could see that right there, that's the O2 sensor that's hanging. That's a little bit difficult taking off and putting back on, since it gets old and then it just rust is on and there's a lot of heat to it. I just wanted to show you guys a little trick before you actually put the exhaust on. Either if you're putting the performance exhaust or the normal exhaust, you're gonna want to put the O2 sensor in first. It'll make it easier for you. It might be hooked up over there with a zip tie or with a little bolt, but just take it off. It'll make your job so much easier. Just reach it over before you get under the car and go ahead and tighten that in there, because once you get the exhaust up, it's a tight fit and it's a lot harder to tighten. So to make it easier on yourself, just tighten it while the exhaust is still on the floor, and then go ahead and install the rest of the exhaust. And I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick, just a little tip to make it easier for you. Alright guys, so I'm done with everything. I just finished putting the Isis Performance exhaust back on, and recording you working on your car is a lot more difficult than just working on your car, because I could have got it done a lot faster, but I try to break down the steps for you guys so that you guys could follow along in the video. And I don't know how the video is gonna turn out, so shout out to Car Passion channel for recording. He does everything from installing turbos to transmission to swapping engines, and to be able to do that while recording by himself, I mean, that shit is amazing to me, because just doing this Isis Performance exhaust, it just takes a lot more longer trying to talk to you guys step by step how to do it and actually doing the process. And as you can see, my hands are dirty. I don't want to get my camera all dirty, so it takes a lot to make videos like this, but I'm gonna keep trying to make videos for you guys. And as far as I know, I'm the only NB Miata that's doing videos like this. So like when I was looking for NB Miatas, Instead of relying on someone else to make videos, I'm gonna pull out the content for you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm gonna give you guys a clip of how the exhaust sounds.